As a matter of housekeeping, I just wanted to let folks know that this meeting is being recorded. Before we get started, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge any of our elected officials or representatives from their offices. Please unmute and be recognized. Looks like no one's on just yet. So what we can do is acknowledge them a little further along in the presentation once they arrive. Next slide, please. All right, so we're going to open up with an agenda here. You're going to hear from city staff. You're going to hear from the state, as well as from team Boston 26. Next slide, please. All right, so some of the key city initiatives to date, we conducted and still continue to conduct a World Cup survey. The surveys were asking information about your business and whether or not you're going to have pre-existing plans for FIFA. And I would like to note, folks, all of the QR codes, please take an opportunity to scan those to get them into your phone so you can do a deeper dive and understanding a little bit more about the survey. Also, the 2026 World Cup one pager. It informs folks around scheduling of events, public viewing licensing, licenses related to showing FIFA events and matches, and then how to extend your hours through the Boston Licensing Board. And then in addition, we have the hospitality office hours, so really focusing all on summer 2026. And this is an opportunity to ask the licensing board any questions related to how to participate in the event for the summer, as well as the liquor license application process. As I mentioned earlier, the survey is going to lead to the next slide, please. All right, so we're functioning, putting together a neighborhood business guide. So we're asking businesses to opt into that. And so I would ask that you scan the QR code for additional details about the business guide and how it's going to be utilized. I'm now going to turn it over to Today Baker and our events process.
Thank you very much, Donald. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. I'll review the permitting process from a public event perspective. Next slide, please. So for the outdoor events, depending upon your location, your event details, and the nature of the event, a public event application may be required. Anyone hosting an outdoor event on either public or private property needs to submit a public event application. The city of Boston does not license events on private residential properties. So commercial private property, we would certainly ask you to apply and review what permits might be required. And you're welcome to scan the links below to learn more about the event application process. Next slide, please. Before you submit an application, some of the things that you should consider are who is the event for, so the target audience, who is staffing the event, who will be on site to manage, who will provide security, and just as importantly, who will clean up after the event is over. What kind of event will it be? Is it ticketed? Is it open and free to the public? Will there be food? And what kind of food? Is it a potluck? Are you planning to have a caterer? Are you grilling food or bringing in prepared food? Some areas may allow for you to apply for alcohol. Parks will not allow for that. We want to know if you're having entertainment, what kind, how will the entertainment be powered? Through generator, electricity, is it portable, battery operated? Those types of questions will be on the public event application, so it can really help you to define the scope of your event. It might give you some ideas, and it might help you to scale back a little bit, understanding that each item may require a separate permit. When will the event take place? Is it one day or is it multiple days? Is it a series of days? Do you have written permission to use the location? So often when you're planning an event, Really the first step is to confirm that the space is available and that you have an agreement, you have authorization to use that location. And then very specifically, we'll ask, is the event taking place on public property? Is it a sidewalk? Are you looking to close a street? Which we try to plan for areas that are not well traveled with vehicles, if possible. Are you using a parking lot? Again, are you using a park? Where are the bathrooms located? Are you providing porta potties? Where are the trash receptacles? Are you hiring a cleanup company? We ask you to look at the entrances and exits of each location. So we'll ask for a site plan that will help you to identify the answers to these questions. And you'll have a personal resource here who will be happy to talk through that with you. And then we like to know, what is the purpose of the event? What is the theme or the goal or the objective? What are you celebrating? Are you bringing community together? How many people do you expect to attend? And maybe consider what your budget is. That will also help you to scale back or scale up. Next slide, please. Once we receive the application and I review the site plan, we'll see how many permits might be required. If it's heavily permitted, you may want to attend a committee meeting, which is where we have many departments available on one call so that you can have all of your questions answered during that one session. They'll advise, each representative will advise what permits may be required. If there are any questions, clarifying questions, any concerns that the committee might have, recommendations around the setup and how to make sure that it's a safe event, you'll learn that during that call. But the call is not to approve or deny your event. It really is to encourage you and offer guidance around what permits might be required. And again, any recommendations on how to make it a safe event. I did mention some of the details regarding food trucks, entertainment, tents. There are ways to maybe avoid permitting, having less tents or smaller tents. And again, I'm happy to work with you on that. And that information is listed on our website. Next slide, please. So the turnaround time, we cannot encourage you enough to submit your application as soon as you believe you're going to plan an event. We'll work with you on the details, but if you get it in, it allows us to get eyes on what you're planning and maybe offer some recommendations up front that will save you some time. And then if you do need to meet with a committee, we try to arrange that within a 2-week period. And then we ask you to apply for your permits right away. And then you'll obtain your permits and you'll send them to the licensing division, who will issue your final license. And that's when you know your event is fully licensed and ready for success. Next slide, please. So my name is Today Baker. As Donald said, I am the manager of the outdoor public event process. I'm happy to work with you individually, as well as to host a meeting for any event planners. And then, as I mentioned, the licensing division is who you'll submit all of your permits to. And that person or that department will be the ones to review the permits, make sure you've obtained everything on the checklist, and issue your final license. That may be it for my slides. Yes, so now I'd like to turn it over to Danny Green from the licensing board. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you today. Hi, everybody. My name is Danny Green. I am the Executive Secretary of the Boston Licensing Board. We are also joined tonight by Kathleen Joyce, who is the chair of the board. We just want to make sure that we briefly cover ways that some of our licensed businesses already can take advantage of the opportunities this summer and how we can support those to expand their offerings to take advantage of what we think is going to be a very busy summer. Next slide, please. So what can you already do without any permission from the licensing board or anybody else? If you are a restaurant or a bar who already, as a normal course of your business, would typically show a sporting event, you have a cable package that would show a soccer match, you can already show World Cup matches in your business as part of your course of business without a public viewing event license from FIFA, without an entertainment license from us, without having to do anything, as long as you meet the rest of the guidelines from FIFA, such as not having admission fees, not having any sponsorships, not using any trademarked material or words. What else can you do if you want to take advantage of optimizing your hours, extending a little bit on the earlier side? You can do that right now without permission. Under Massachusetts state law, you can begin serving alcohol as early as 8 a.m. on Monday through Saturday without any permission from the city or the state. You may already have permission on the face of your license to begin serving alcohol as early as 10 a.m. on Sunday. There is no alcohol service before 10 a.m. on Sundays, even with permission, but you may already be able to do that, in which case you would not need anything further from the board, from the state, or from anybody else. Next slide, please. What might you need permission from the licensing board to do? Let's say you don't already have permission to open at 10 a.m. on Sundays. You can do that if you want, if there's a match that starts early and you want to begin serving alcohol at 10 a.m. on a Sunday. We have this form called a one-day amendment application. It's on our website, boston.gov/licensing. There's also a QR code for it right here on the slide. It is a one-page form that does not have any hearing required. There's no fee to apply. It's just a form that you submit that the board reviews, and in almost all circumstances will grant pretty quickly if you're looking for just an early extension of hours. If you also are looking to extend your hours on the later side, let's say you have an alcohol license that closes at midnight or 1 a.m. and there's a match coming up that you want to be able to have folks in your establishment until 2 a.m. The same exact form, the one-day amendment form, is what you would use and submit to extend your hours up until 2 a.m. is the latest alcohol service in Massachusetts. You can also use this form if you want to physically expand your space. Let's say there's a vacant storefront next door that you might want to expand into from your licensed premise as part of an event that you're throwing. Or there might be a small contiguous adjoining outdoor space, like a patio that you haven't used or anywhere else on your private property. You would submit the same exact one-day amendment application, and you would supplement that with a floor plan and show us what you intend to do with this event. Pretty quick turnaround, no fee, no hearing required. These are things you can do with just a simple one-page form. Next slide, please. If you're a type of business that is not a restaurant or a bar, you are not a licensed premise, you do not fall into the purview of the licensing board, but you want to have an event in your business with entertainment or alcohol, these are things you can do with one-day forms that are also available on our website. One is a one-day alcohol application. There's a one-time entertainment license application. Both of these forms begin with sign-off from the local district police captain. Please make sure you get that done before you submit the form directly to the licensing board. We do ask that all applications come to us at least 2 weeks in advance. I will repeat what today said. It is never too early to start thinking about what event you're putting on and to get applications into us. This is going to be a very busy summer, and we want to see what your ideas are as soon as possible so that we can advise you on what possible next steps you may need to take or triage appropriately to other departments who may need to get involved. Speaking of, depending on the scale of your event, you may need to go through the public events process if you're going into an outdoor public space, and other permits may be required beyond just an alcohol or entertainment license. Again, encouraged to reach out to us as soon as possible so we can triage appropriately. Next step, next slide, please. So if you don't know where to start or want to make sure that you are getting the right advice, have the right forms in front of you, know what you're doing. Donald did mention this, but I can't put enough of a plug on our bi-weekly office hours. Every other Wednesday from 3 to 5 on Zoom, we offer office hours co-hosted by the licensing board and the city's small business office, where we sit on a Zoom just like this, take folks in from the waiting room one at a time, and offer really one-on-one technical assistance and support to answer whatever questions you might have about the alcohol licensing process, the entertainment licensing process, any questions you might have about special events, how to put on an event, any permits you might need. The link to register for office hours is on our website, boston.gov/licensing. It's also available on that QR code. Again, never too early to sign up for office hours, and just give us a talk and ask us any questions you may have about any event you might want to throw over this summer. I will be here for the remainder of this event to answer any questions that may pertain to licensing, but I think for now I am going to throw it over to Charlie Tukotsky from the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism.
Great, thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Charlie Tukotsky. I'm the Deputy Director of the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. which is the state tourism office within the Executive Office of Economic Development. Thank you to the City of Boston team for having me. I've learned a lot already. I hope all the attendees have as well. So next slide, please. So this summer, just like all you, we're excited to work with partners as we all prepare to welcome visitors from across the world to Boston and Massachusetts. One way that we're doing this is through a dedicated webpage, visit ma.com/soccer. This is intended to share information with visitors that's consistent with the messaging of the Boston 26 Host Committee, City of Boston, other partners, plus some additional tourism information. So please feel free to use this as a resource, whether sharing with visitors or for your own information. Next slide, please. Continuing the theme of QR codes, we have one as well. So every business has a role to play in shaping how this summer is experienced. And there are so many opportunities to help create an environment that reflects the energy, the diversity, the creativity of the world's most popular sport. If you are hosting events or offering specials to customers, please, we encourage you to create or update, if you already have a listing on visitma.com, your listing. You can post your business information, hours of operation, web page, photos. Once you have a business listing, and business doesn't have to be for profit, we have plenty of nonprofit organizations on there as well. Once you have your business listed, you can start posting events. The events, because we do cover the whole state, we're not able to kind of independently go out and collect all the events across the state. So being on our webpage, on our website, is really a very good way and probably the best way to get in front of our marketing team for consideration for newsletters and social media and different ways that we can help promote events. So this is really a plug for this resource in general, but especially as we're looking towards the summer and any events and specials that are designed to welcome all the visiting fans. So we want to help amplify your efforts and connect you with those audiences from around the world. Next slide, please. Just wrapping it up with some hospitality data that I figured I'd share. This is simply to say that there is data behind the fact that there's a lot of people coming, and I know we're all getting ready for it and getting excited. Weather's finally getting warmer, but we have the hard data now of these are actual bookings. So June and July are already quite busy times a year in Greater Boston and Boston, but it will be above the normal summer bookings, and obviously just tons of people are coming, and that includes hotel and short-term rental. So you can see the numbers in front of you. So again, just thank you to the city for the opportunity to share some thoughts with you all. And I'm not sure who I pass it on to next. I think Neil, actually. Neil from Boston 26, is that right?
That is correct. Thank you, Charlie.
All right,
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Great to see you all. My name is Neil Doherty. I am here on behalf of Boston 26, which is the local organizing committee for the FIFA World Cup here in Boston. Hoping to just walk through a few slides to talk through what this event is and how businesses can be prepared and get involved with all that's coming this summer. So want to thank Donald and the team at OEOI and licensing and everyone else at the city. Mayor Wu's office has been fantastic in supporting this event, along with Charlie at the state at Mott and Governor Healy's team. So we're all very excited to be welcoming the world to Boston, and it's going to be our small businesses and businesses across the Commonwealth that really show these international visitors what Boston has to offer. So really looking forward to working with all of you over the next 2 or so months at this point. So if you want to go to the next slide. I'll start with a quick overview. So just for folks who aren't too familiar with the FIFA World Cup, the FIFA World Cup is the largest sporting event on earth. It is it happens every 4 years, and this coming summer, North America is going to be hosting the tournament. There are 16 cities that are hosting games this year. 11 of which are in the US. Boston is one of those cities. We get to host 7 matches during the tournament, 5 group stage matches, a round of 32 match, and the quarterfinal. 48 nations are going to be playing in the tournament, and there's over 100 matches, just at 104. This is the biggest tournament that the FIFA has ever done. It's the biggest tournament in the world. One good stat that I tend to throw out is that the NFL Super Bowl has about 125 million viewers for Super Bowl Sunday. The FIFA World Cup across the tournament has over 5 billion viewers. So Boston's never going to be on a stage like this in our lifetimes potentially. But this is a great opportunity, and we just got to take advantage of it. Next slide, please. This is the list of teams that we have coming to town between June and July this summer. As you can see here, we have a great draw of teams. First match is going to be Haiti versus Scotland. Then we have Iraq versus Norway, Scotland versus Morocco, England versus Ghana, and then Norway versus France. And then those matches 6 and 7 will be decided by their performances during the group stage. These teams all have strong relationships to Boston and the New England region, and are going to have folks that live here that want to come and support the team, but also just many, many fans from across the world who are going to be coming to Boston to support. So we want to make sure we welcome those folks with open arms. Next slide. I'll go quickly into some of the work that the host committee is doing. First, on transportation. As many of you know, the stadium where the games will be happening is down at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Because of the number of international visitors coming, they're going to need more public transportation. We've been working closely with the MBTA to make sure that event trains are prepared to move up to 20,000 people on those 7 match days. And we also have a bus service that is going to move another 10,000 people. A typical Patriots game or concert down here has over 95% people driving to and from the event. For the World Cup matches, we expect anywhere from 25 to 40% of ticket holders will need that public service. So really, those 7 match days are going to be busy downtown as folks are making their way from the city down to the stadium and back. Next slide. The second piece is the FIFA Fan Festival and just celebrations generally. So the FIFA Fan Festival is at Boston City Hall Plaza, which is going to be taking place from June 12th to June 27th. That's a 16-day event. It's going to be showing 2 to 3 matches every day and allowing for fans to come and take in all that Boston has to offer, watch the match with the supporters and their teammates, and make sure that Boston will be shown to the global broadcast and show how amazing Boston is and gets shown across the world. There will be food and drink and activities there. So the City Hall Plaza will be the hub of the activations this summer. But it's not just a Boston thing. There's going to be events across the Commonwealth through Charlie and the team at Travel and Tourism. There's a number of municipalities going to be doing watch parties and other things, along with fan activations that could include fan walks and supporting their team by marching across the city, which is a big custom in international football. So a lot of work getting done between the city and state and in partnership with Boston 26 to make sure that fans have a really exciting experience here in Boston. Next slide. Just a couple things for what to expect for your businesses. So we expect up to 2 million visitors to be coming through Boston and the region over the 39-day tournament. That is, as Charlie said, summer is always busy in Boston, but this is going to be on another level, especially with the tall ships coming to town and America 250 having an event here this summer as well. So this is really the chance for businesses to be prepared and welcome these visitors. Make sure that you're prepared to support those teams that are coming to town, right? Like we have France is going to be here in Boston. Want to make sure that businesses are ready to encourage French fans to come in, have a drink, grab dinner, do some shopping. We want to make sure folks are ready to do that. So to do that well, you want to make sure that you have the staffing and supports ready to take on this new number of patrons, along with educating your workforce to make sure that they know some of these international customs and how to make sure things are ready to operate on game days across this whole tournament. Next slide. Just some impacts that you may feel. So with all these folks coming to town, there will be, similar to the transportation point, but hotels will be expensive. They will be busy. They should be booked out. Rental cars will also see some impact to their amount of service availability. So that's why there's so much need for folks to be able to take public transit and trains, bus and train service, excuse me. Like we said, working with the city and state, public works and public safety resources will be working overtime this during these 39 days just to make sure that we're keeping up with all of the needs across the Commonwealth. There will be, especially for those 7 match days, where the games are happening at Gillette Stadium, we do encourage folks, if businesses can have folks work from home, that's something that should be considered, just because the commute, especially on commuter rail lines, will be altered by the match day events and the train service that's going to be happening. So the MBTA is going to be putting out information, but just something to be aware of. Encourage your folks to be educated on how to get to and from work on those days. And then, like I mentioned, just want to make sure you have all the right number of staff and folks available to keep your business running. Next step. I see a lot of questions. Really think that all of the input on the chat is great. I know there's a lot of businesses that want to get involved here. On our website at bostonfwc26.com, there's a business opportunities page. I'm sure some of you have seen this before, but please fill out your business's information if you are interested in doing work related to this event. So at this point in the tournament, there's going to be major companies and other groups, like some of these team country organizations, that are going to be coming to town and wanting to throw events to support their VIPs, or, if you're Coca-Cola or a company like that, you're going to want to support your New England team employees and have an event related to the World Cup. Those events are going to require catering, a florist, security, custodial, all those pieces. So you want to make sure that you're included in this business opportunities form. We're working with Waymer and Associates, who is helping us on some of that work. They are on to take questions if we get there. But I would really encourage anyone who hasn't yet to fill out that form. I will say, because of the timeline of where we are heading toward, I think we're 38 or 37 days away from the tournament. If companies are coming into town to set up an event, it's really a buyer's market. They are going to be looking at this list and choosing a name and saying, okay, let me see if that caterer can do it. They'll make a phone call, and if it works, they're going to go forward. So you just want to make sure that you're putting yourselves out there as much as possible. Next slide. Couple just quick things, and appreciate Danny's comments on if you're how to put an event together. If you are a restaurant that has the cable, then you're all set. But if you want to do something outside, want to do a public event at a big hall or something to that effect, you're going to have to go and work through FIFA to get a public viewing license, which they have a portal online. You can get to it through a number of ways, but you'll have to get a public viewing license to be able to show the matches. At Boston 26's website, we have a community watch party playbook that can answer some of those questions, but it's just something to be aware of as you go forward and think about putting something on. Next slide. Just quickly on marketing and customer management, and the next slide will refer to this too, but you just want to make sure that your team and your workforce is ready to operate. It will be busy. It will put pressure on your business and your staff. So make sure they're aware of what's going on. Put together any specials or extended hours to encourage folks to come in. Use the team flags. Use the just the energy that's going to be here in town, and make sure that folks are ready to work. There are going to be a lot of international visitors. You're probably going to want to train your staff that if you're in the restaurant industry, tipping isn't as popular around the world. So you want to make sure that they understand that they might not get a tip, and that's just the culture that happens. Do you want to build that into your receipts and your billing ahead of time? That's something to think about. Just the last slide, Luke, if you don't mind, I would just want to caution related to branding. The FIFA World Cup has strict brand guidelines, and the things you see here are protected logos. So the trophy, the Boston host city logo, those pieces are You should not be using those unless you have express written consent from FIFA. The best way to go about it is, similar to the Super Bowl or other major events where you're not supposed to use the name. You'll say like, come in for the big match, come watch the game, come see Norway versus France. You can use all those things. You'll want to avoid using things like FIFA World Cup, any of these photos and trophy visuals that you see here. Those rights are protected, so you don't want to get into any issues with that. And then the last two slides are just about our resources. Everything is available on Boston 26's website. We have an Instagram, WhatsApp, a WhatsApp page along with LinkedIn, and then there's the FIFA 26 World Cup app. All of those pieces will have a lot of information about the city and how to get involved. So please take a look, and if you have any questions, please reach out. And thank you all again for the opportunity to say a few words.
All right, thank you, Kelsey. And before we get into questions, I just want to reiterate, the mayor and the excitement around the events this summer. But the mayor is really looking for, every business to feel the economic impact of this summer. So we're really excited about that. And then also one other thing, and Kelsey, thank you for alerting me to this, is that if you have some questions regarding wage and hours law, the AG has put together a one-pager that Kelsey's going to put. I think she just dropped it in the chat. And please take a look at that. And so I think we'll move now to questions.
And if you could just raise your hand, your virtual hand, I will call on you in the order that I see the question.
I don't even see any hands.
Miss Kelly, do you want to go first? I see your hand, but you can't raise your
thank you,
virtual
my real
hand. Go ahead.
hand.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just thank you for the information. Sounds very exciting. I had a follow-up question for Neil. So you cannot use the word FIFA in your promotion?
That is correct. Yes. So it's a protected trademark piece. So unless you are a associated brand with FIFA, you should not be using their language.
Well,
and they are known to come down pretty strongly on folks.
Okay, good to know.
I have a quick question. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Before we get into more questions, I just want to make sure that anyone joining from their phone knows that to raise your hand from your phone, you dial *9.
Just have
And now your
one
question.
No, hold on 1 second. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge Senator Liz Miranda, who's joined the call. Thank you, Liz.
Of course, thank you. I just wanted to make sure I put my questions in the chat so other people could ask their questions.
Great. Thank you, Senator.
All right, so we will go Stephanie because you were in the middle of talking.
Oh, sorry about that, everyone. It was just a question related to what Kelly asked. We're a tattoo studio, and so sometimes clients do want to get that type of stuff. Is there like rules around that specifically? Because it's very different. We're not like promoting things, but people wanting that like on them is a different topic. I'm not sure like if you have any guidelines around that.
No, if people want to tattoo it on them, please feel free.
Great, now we will go to Sanders.
Hi, how's it going? Thank you guys for all the informations. Well, I think my question is kind of being answered, but I still want to put it out there. We just want to know exactly where to go for us to become vendors for certain events, especially the one that's happening at City Hall Plaza, directly connected to all the small businesses that's happening. So we just, would like to know where exactly we should go. If there's a link, if you guys can drop it in the chat so we can click on it and then so we can get registered.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. It's a great one, an important one. So we are working with Dimsey Sports. It's Dave McGilvery Sports and Entertainment. That they're going to be the event management group that's putting together the fan festival on City Hall Plaza. The business opportunity page that I referenced there is your best bet to get involved with potential opportunities that are coming up for the tournament. I would say the vast majority of events for the plaza itself are going to be working through DIMSY. But that website at the business opportunities page would be best for you there.
Great. We had a few more people join from their phones. So as a reminder, if you would like to raise your hand from your phone, you dial *9. Next, we're going to go to Sebastian Joseph.
Hi, how you guys doing? I had a few questions. For the outdoor events, I know that you guys are offering licensing permits, but it seems as if, just like for example, for parks, people are not allowed to charge. So for someone who's an entrepreneur who wants to do events for profit and do outdoor showings, what is the route available for us?
I'm happy to just mention that it is Parks policy is that it needs to be free and open to the public. Maybe the recommendation that I would make is maybe find some commercial property space, some city hall space, a city of Boston space that is not the parks. I don't know that we have
Still
parks.
can't charge today. Unfortunately, you can't
Okay.
charge on city land.
Thank you, Donald.
Sorry, and
Sebastian,
then
maybe
I'm
go ahead.
listening.
I was gonna say maybe what we can do is if you put your email in the chat, we can also connect you with Meet Boston, who may be able to provide you with some of those locations that you potentially could host an event.
All right, perfect. And the last question is, for people working at Gillette during the World Cup, are timings aware of that, as far as like commuter rail systems and transportation systems? Is that something that's available for employees as well?
To get to
taking
and
up
from
the
a
matches.
match?
Correct.
Yes, if you are, the trains would be available to you if you're working down there at on site.
Thank you.
I will say, sorry, just to touch that quickly on train and bus. For those services to get to and from the stadium on match days, it will be a requirement that you have a match ticket to go to the stadium. The goal is not for just folks to go down there and without a ticket and hope to take part in the festivities. They will not be allowed onto the train. The goal is for folks to stay in and around the Boston area to be part of the Fan Fest and taking in the event there. That's with the goal of providing that safety and security element that's so important to events like these.
Great. So our next question is from Erin.
Sorry about that. Hi, thank you. I really appreciate this call. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can. Thank you.
So the supplier business form that was out there that I filled out, I don't even know, it was probably a year ago. This is kind of a two-part question. Do those suppliers come in a certain order and remain a certain order? Or how do you, how do I know how many competitors I'm up against? But also when you mentioned DIMSY and Meet Boston, I mean, those are other avenues, right? For a vendor like me, I'm in event services, so I'm labor, every aspect of an event. There's how do you get consideration for DIMSY? Is there a process to all of it?
Aaron, that's a great question. The supplier portal there, that is for folks to put themselves in the mix for potential opportunities, right? And that is to my point on it being a buyer's market per se, for folks that are coming in and putting events on. The information is put out there to those companies that may want to put something on, and it's them who choose where they go. The Meet Boston obviously it has been a great supporter of Boston 26, along with all the major events that are happening here in Boston this summer. And they are another incredible avenue to get access to those types of events. Dimsey has, as the event management company, they're doing subcontracting for specific services. They have that list as well. So the list is shared with the folks that are interested in putting on events and need the support, and then they take it from there. I do know, I think Waymer was on. I don't know if there was anything they would want to add for some of their work that's ongoing, but I'm not sure if they're still on the call.
Yeah, hi Neil, I am here. Hi folks, my
Great.
name is DJ Waymer. I am with Waymer Associates. Our team was hired to work with FIFA to identify local event production suppliers in Boston and all of the other US markets hosting FIFA matches. For the young lady who was asking the question about putting her name on the Boston 26 information form, we got all of those names and vetted each of those businesses for experience, for capacity, and for whether or not they were needed in our event production process for the events that FIFA is going to be hosting in your market. We did have one issue in your market. We came up with 207 qualified businesses and sent all of those businesses the FIFA intake form, which provides all of the information we need to push you on to our activation teams. And only 97 people returned the form. So a word of advice, if you ever put your name on one of these city or host committee interest forms, always check your spam folder. We know for a fact that a lot of people, their intake form directly from FIFA got caught in a spam folder. The good news is 97 companies made it into the resource guide that we shared with the city, with the local host committee, Boston 26. It went to FIFA headquarters, to FIFA sponsors, and to all of the event production teams associated with FIFA. So there are a lot of eyes on that list. And Aaron, if you want to put your company name and your number in the, well, I don't want you to put your number in the chat. I'll try and find you. But
I
I'll
did
look.
put my email in there. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. I'll go back and find it so that I can reach out to you and let you know if we got all of your information.
I appreciate that.
No worries.
And the next question is from Brianna.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to unmute. First of all, thank you so much for hosting these. I think I've been on every single one that you can think of. And this link that was put in for the guide, it is very Boston centric. Alston, Boston, all these areas. So I have a two-part question. One, is that only for specifically Boston businesses? Because I didn't see like an other or anything like that. I'm in Worcester, so greater Boston. And two, if there are, I did hear the woman just talk about going into the spam. So if we were to check and that was something that we do see, is that something that's done and gone and nothing we can do to get in front of these FIFA sponsors, or are there other steps?
For FIFA, you have to understand we're 30 days out from the first match in LA. So as a business person, you know, when you are 30 days out from a global event, most of your suppliers are most likely already under contract. That doesn't mean that all of the opportunities are gone, but a large percent of them are. What we're still looking for, probably through game time, would be florists, signage, DJs and MCs, decor and furniture, and promo items. But do check your spam, because if you can reach out to us and let us know that you are still interested, there are other events coming to Boston, and all of the information that we have on companies on our FIFA list, FIFA is sharing that list with the city of Boston, with all of the event producers that are going to be working. Sorry, I don't know the name of all the events that are coming. I know one has to do with tall ships, but all of those event producers will get this list, so you don't want to be left off of it. It's never too late to be added.
And I do want to clarify that yes, the neighborhood business guide is solely for the city of Boston. I am resharing the link from the state about listing your business on a statewide guide. And I do want to pause here to let everyone know that later this week, we will be sharing this slide deck as well as all the links that come with that. So expect that in your email later this week. And now we will go to Vanessa Rose.
Thanks, Kelsey. Hi, everyone. My name is Vanessa, and I was just asking if, because I know there are be a lot of like tourists coming into the city, would FWC 26 Boston, the Instagram page, or Meet Boston USA will be doing a campaign for basically either events or restaurants in the city where you could go to watch the matches. I know there are guides and websites for that, but seeing that a lot of people just be going to their social media and be like, hey, like, where can I watch this game? Are you guys planning a campaign like this is where you could eat and watch the game, this restaurant is kid friendly, et cetera, et cetera?
Thanks, Vanessa. That's an excellent question. I know Meet Boston does that, and on the Meet Boston websites related to the World Cup, there is a site that, and I apologize, I don't have the URL, but if you are hosting an event related to the World Cup, you can put all of your information there, which is then shared in the FIFA World Cup 26 app that visitors will use along with on Meet Boston's website. We will be linking to that as well. I think as far as social media engagement, we'd be happy to consider something like that. So if you want to just shoot us a note, that would be great.
Sure. Where can I send you an email?
I'll put my email in the chat.
All right. Thank you, Neil.
And I would just also add, Vanessa, from the city's perspective, we're also collecting information about different events happening in the city. So I will also drop a link to a form that you could fill out. And the goal of our small business guide was to gather that information about who's hosting an event, where people can watch a match and have something to eat. So we'll be sharing that in the small business guide that Kelsey and others have referred to today.
Thank you, Luke.
And next we'll go to Gisela.
So sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. Just a follow-up question, and this is specifically to the City Hall Fan Fest, which is going to be at the City of Boston. Can you provide the exact page for businesses that are interested in having a space there? Vendor, table, whatever it is. I went to the main page, and unfortunately it's it's a little bit hard to navigate. I work specifically with businesses, local businesses that are physically and registered in the city of Boston. And the second part to that is who will be, what official or what body will be selected, will select which businesses get a space or a table or have a presence at the City Fan Fest. Thank you.
Thanks, Giselle. I think, as I mentioned, DMSE Sports, DMSE is the event management company, and they're going to be leading who gets the space there. Because of the size of the Boston City Hall Plaza, it's a fairly small site for some of these things. And being the FIFA Fan Festival, some of the companies like that are FIFA's commercial supporters, like Coca-Cola, Anheuser-Busch, and others will be the folks that are doing some of that large scale site work. But DMSE manages the catering on the other side of stuff. So I would suggest using that business opportunities page, but DMSE is the event management company.
And so where, if you can just, and I apologize, there's a lot of
Sorry,
people
yeah, you
chatting
said
in.
that. Yes,
If you
yes,
can
yes.
put, yeah, if you can put that in, that'd be great, because this is, the Fan Fest is at the City of Boston, and it's only fair and equitable for City of Boston businesses to actually have a presence there as well. So, and also would like to know more information about how the selection process takes place. And this is specific to the Fan Fest. What's happening in Gillette, it's completely different town. So I would like to share with the small business owners located in Boston this information. What is the selection process? What does it look like? As well as what is, the link for them to submit their information.
I'll put that link in the chat now.
Great. And next, and we have 2 more hands up. I think we have time for 2 more questions. So we'll go Keith, then Rachel, and that will be the end of our question.
Hi, how you doing? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so I had a question. I think it might be geared towards BJ Waymer. She mentioned about signing up for your business for event support. I know she said that it's kind of like too late right now for the actual FIFA Cup, but where do we go if we wanted to have our business recognized for future events? I saw that you put something up for Massachusetts, but is there something else for Boston?
It's my information that the Boston 26 host committee still has their information form up and available to suppliers. And you can continue to put or register your business with the host committee. They will make sure that all of the names that are put in get moved on to the city and to other host committees so that there are ongoing opportunities, excuse me, ongoing opportunities for local suppliers to work events, major events in Boston.
Okay, thank you.
And now our final question from Rachel.
Greetings, how are you? My name is Orisha Miller. I would like to know, what can I do if I want to be like a host or MC or a tour guide to some of the visitors that's coming to Boston? Because I know Boston very well, and I go out a lot, and I know a lot of events that goes on within the city that I could like help people like go to different restaurants as well as different clubs. So what can I do if I want to sign up to be like a host or MC or try to chaperone people to get to where they need to be?
Yeah, I think that's
I
think that's a great question. So I would just recommend all of the different forms that have been submitted today, whether that be the state's form or the city's form or Boston 26. If you fill out your information there, I think those are the appropriate avenues. And if there's opportunities available, folks will be in touch with you.
All right, thank you.
Rachel, also, I would say if you've not done so, register with the City of Boston as a vendor,
Okay.
and then we can go from there.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
Great. So I'm seeing a question in the chat about the guide to check it. Here's the link to the neighborhood business guide. If you would like to be included and you are located within the city of Boston, this survey link is in the chat. It's also on the right-hand side of this web page, and we will be adding to it throughout the month of May. So I hope that you will fill out the survey to be included.
Is that the boston.gov summer? You talking about the boston.gov summer?
Yep, all the information that we presented tonight, the recording and the slide deck, we will post at that website, boston.gov/summer. So just give us a day or two for the video to download, but all the information will be posted there, including the links to tonight.
Thank you.
One final question, Kelsey, from Christian.
Thank you. Thank you guys for doing all this. This is great. I'm frantically making notes. I'm one of the people who organizes all the pedicab drivers, those giant tricycle things. The question was sort of half answered. We exist in a liminal space somewhere between entertainment, transportation, and event support, as well as working with officials in the city a lot. Basically ambassadorship, as well as event services. In these lists that I know the answer, go on the list, got it. But is that going to sort of opportune me with whether it's officials, whether it's organizers, the people at the high end who may actually be more fit with the service? And if not, that's chill. I just sort of wanted to, because we're really on the, vendors event thing here. And as pedicabs exist in that weird space in between, I'm just wondering if that's going to be my right venue, or if there are other networking venues for people who work in our capacity, which is a understandably weird capacity, but just wanted to check. And if that doesn't make sense, I'm
yeah,
cool
I no, it makes sense. I think, and I don't want to speak for the orgs on here, but if we're even sending vendors. It doesn't have to be, I think that is something like if someone is like, I'm trying to look for transportation or something like that is what that category would be.
100%. You would have the ability, thank you, Phyllis, to fill out what your business does, right? And if someone sees that and thinks this is what we need, then they would reach out.
Fair enough. Okay. Just wanted to check because it is weird. Thank you.
No, it's a good question. Thank you.
And if I could just follow up here, I think that the biggest goal with this was to create a platform. So regardless of what category you fall in or what network you're looking for, just so that it's out there and people know what your services are and your definition behind your business is really the first step. And I really do encourage you to just join as a step in that direction.
That's what I was vibing. I appreciate all the help, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are doing great work.
How much does it cost to be a vendor?
Donald?
Yeah, let me get back to you. I got to figure out what the initial cost is, but registration is free. You can go online. You can do that through the city's website. You can come in if you happen to be at City Hall. We can get you registered at the clerk's office, but you can also stop by 26 Court to the Office of Small Business and talk to the team there.
Quick question before you guys leave.
Yes, before your question, and you will ask your question. I just want to let everyone know. I know we are at 7:00. We are going to allow Sebastian to ask his questions, and then we are going to read the questions in the chat from Senator Miranda before closing this out. So now, your question.
Yeah. So the question I had was, I supported the FIFA Club World Cup in Miami this past summer in 2025. And one thing I noticed was outside of the games, certain countries had meeting areas, but it didn't seem as if there was information as where those areas would be, as we're hosting 7 matches. So I'm assuming 14 countries or per se. And I seen we guys talked about fan walks, but it wasn't really clear. Is there already assigned spaces in Boston that are dedicated for countries to come together outside of the matches and outside of the fan festival? If so, where are these information, and what communities is it community leaders who are organizing this? Is this the city of Boston organizing this? And how will we prepare for these spaces that are not City Hall and Gillette Stadium?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a mix of all of those things. We're working with some local businesses, we're working with the consulates, community leaders. So we're trying to gather all of that to share back. It is different by each country. So if you are hearing things, but we are meeting with direct community groups to get these informations. They're fan groups that come and travel from outside of the country that will set up shop somewhere. So we are gathering that. But yeah, that's a good question.
And
We're
yeah, I
working
would
on it.
just echoing Phyllis's comments. I think this is why it's important to fill out all of the information and especially Boston 26's small business guide, because any of these different, fan activations, if there's contracting opportunities, we will make sure that the businesses who fill out that guide have first access to those opportunities.
And if I may, Luke, add to that, you'll find that a number of organizations are creating a guide. By all means, utilize those resources as well. Don't limit yourself to just one. And I think that, this is, as you heard earlier, going to be a shared information. So by all means.
Great. So Senator Liz Miranda put some questions in the chat. I am going to read those aloud so that they can be answered. The first question was, how are you making sure there is equitable procurement and supplier diversity?
Sure, I'm happy to.
You're muted, Donald. Sorry.
Go ahead, Neil.
Sure, thanks. Appreciate the senator's questions. So we're working closely with the city and state on some of those pieces and making sure our procurement processes are to use to reflect those things, especially on what Boston 26 is putting out for vending. For things, our main contracting opportunities have been transportation, the fan festival, and security at the fan festival. And we've gone with Yankee on transportation. They're the to provide some of that bus support. Dimsey, as I mentioned, working through the event management company on City Hall Plaza. And then Windwalker security for the fan festival security apparatus on the plaza.
Some additional steps we took were sharing certified vendor lists with all individuals as well.
Great. And Senator Miranda's next question was, additionally, how can we make sure people get into the neighborhoods? I will answer that question. I would encourage all businesses to fill out our survey and be included on the neighborhood business guide. We are going to have digital ads around the city that encourage tourists to view the business guide and visit the neighborhoods. So, Senator, if you would like to share that survey and that business guide with the 40 businesses that you invited here, that would be really helpful.
We're also working with some of our partners in the community to get that information out as well. So we'll be updating folks on that.
And if I can add to that, just from the Office of Small Businesses perspective, we have been going into the neighborhoods directly and asking who is comfortable being a part of this process, who wants their food business, their jeweler business, their tailoring business to be featured during this time while we have this influx of humans here. And so I think that's important as well.
I want to say something. My name is Snell Bies. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I just want to say thank you so much and thank you for your patience. If there's a link that you do not see here, I know folks are asking for Dempsey and other things. Please give us some time. We will send that out to you by the end of the week. But please add your email information so we can make a record of it. We are all about equity here. I'm talking about someone from supplier diversity. So we will get that information over to you. And we appreciate it. I just wanted to say thank you again and just give you guys a shout out because I see all the questions and we're trying to respond to them as quickly, personally in your inbox as soon as we can. So again, please just add your information on there. This is a recorded meeting, so that information will be sent out to you by the end of the week. And thank you so much.
Great. So as Snell mentioned, we will be sharing the slides and we will make sure to include that survey link as well. And then And then we will post the recording on the website as well and include the recording in the email for anyone who was not able to join this meeting.
Before we go, Kelsey, I just do want to encourage folks to participate in the office hours. You've gotten a ton of information here, and I know you're going to have to go home and try to absorb it. But do reach out if you have any questions. We have a number of departments here on the call that are here to support and assist, and we're here to help. And we're excited about this opportunity this summer and look forward to working with you as well.